need to say no to. If you do not learn how to say no, you would always be stressed. Because if you try to take everything on by yourself, guess what? You're going to be tired at the end of the day. Ruth White says that a pastor's wife is that woman that works in every department of the church, but yet do not get paid. In as much as a lot of pastors' wives are not demanding for pay, and I'm not trying to put that in anybody's mind, what I want us to hold on in what Ruth White said is the fact that the pastor's wife works in almost all the departments. That means the pastor's wife has an input in almost every department in the church in one way or the other. And you see, the pastor's wife gives herself to do things that some other people might not even do. And despite all this, the pastor's wife still has to juggle the duties of her home as a mother, as a wife, and as a companion. And this is why it is very easy for a pastor's wife to get burnt out if care is not taken. Welcome to today's episode of Times of Refreshing. I'm your host, Toyin. I'm so glad you can join us today. Today on Times of Refreshing, we'll be talking about the pastor's wife and burnout in the ministry. And also for everyone that watches and follows this broadcast, I'm also trying to talk to you about how to identify when you get burnt out and even what you need to do about it. Last week on Times of Refreshing, we talked about stress and the pastor's wife. And I want to appreciate so many of us that have sent your personal mail to me directly for questions concerning some of the things to do. I'm not an expert in this, but I try my best to answer you, and I hope my answers has actually helped you. So being burnt out has become something very common with pastors and their wives. Statistics shows that a lot of pastors are quitting their pastoral jobs, and pastors' wives are asking for sabbatical and asking some pastors to choose between them and the ministries. This ought not to be so. We must be able to know when to identify when emotionally, spiritually, physically, when we're overwhelmed, when we need to step back, when we need to, take time off, or else we're going to get burnt out. What are the signs that shows you that you are burnt out? When you find out that things that gives you joy gives you very little or no joy at all. When you find out that your interest in things that you enjoy doing has dimmed through it so much, when you find out that you are always exhausted and tired, when you find out that you're about to just throw in the towel, you're about to quit on that particular thing you're doing, just because you are overwhelmed, just because it's too much, just because you've been struggling with stress repeatedly, then you are at the verge of being burnt out. And you need to take steps immediately so that you can be revived. And what are some of the steps that you can take? You need to learn, like I said the last time, how to say no. When responsibilities become too much, you can easily get burnt out because you'll be tired, you'll be exhausted, you'll feel you've not done your best. Meanwhile, it's just because it's too much for you. So you need to know how to refuse some things while you take some things head on. We also, as pastor's wife, and for everyone listening out there, we must learn how to depend on God. Because the Bible says in the book of Matthew 11, it says, "Come unto me, all ye that are laden, are burdened, and are ever laden." He said, "I will give you rest." Jesus Christ says his yoke is light. And that is what we need to do. When you try and do things all the time with your strength alone, you are easily going to get burnt out. We must learn how to take things to God in prayers. He says we should bring everything to him and he will answer us. Don't suffer in silence. Don't be quiet while you are almost bulking, you're almost collapsing under the bulk of the weight of responsibilities. Talk to God about some of those things and even all those things, and the Lord will show you direction as how to handle it. Very importantly and practically, we must learn how to step aside from that activity, from that situation that is giving you stress. You must learn to take vacations. In as much as we need all this, so many times we are afraid of the consequences. We are bothered about what people will say. Oh, they are on vacation. It does not matter what people will say. People in the secular world take vacation. As a pastor, as a pastor's wife, you need to find time to take vacation and step aside from it all. God is the owner of the church. You must remember that. And God is the owner of your life. Put the right structure in place so that you can step aside from time to time just to rest. It is not a crime to rest. Also, I want to say we must learn also to take time aside and just be with God. Because if you are fatigued emotionally, you need to be revived. You need to be recharged. One of my friends told me that what she does a lot of times, and she's been on this program, is that she takes time to go for retreats. Instead of allowing yourself to get burnt out completely and then you want to quit, take time to just be with God and with God alone. Being burnt out has so many effects on us. It has led to people quitting the ministry, or even wives divorcing their husbands just because they cannot take it any longer. That should not be your story or my story. Rather, let's take time to rest. Let's take time to lean upon God. Let's take time to ask for help and not do everything by ourselves. Let's take time to talk to people. Talk to your husband. Talk to other people that you can confide in. Pour out your soul. Pour out how you feel. Let people know how you feel. People you can confide in. People that can actually console you and also encourage you and give you tips on how to continue to stay on top. Until next time on Times of Refreshing, I want to kindly ask you that you like our page, you follow us on all our social media platforms, and most importantly, please share this. There's probably somebody out there who cannot come out to ask openly for fear of, thinking people are going to judge her or judge him because she's a pastor's wife. But one thing we need to do is to share so that we can help others. Thank you so much for staying tuned. And next time, we'll be talking about how all this emotional stress can lead to depression. Make sure you tune in and watch that broadcast. And I'm very sure you'll be glad you did. Stay blessed and have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye-bye.